anyone who knows me will describe me as extremely passionate. In fact, if I had $1 for every single time someone said I was passionate, I'd be buying all of you dinner tonight and I wouldn't even be blinking. What people don't know is that my passion is a monster. So who am I? My name is Gesche, and as my name might indicate, I didn't have a traditional upbringing. My dad is German, my mom is Chinese-Malaysian. I was born in Africa. I lived in Malaysia, Singapore, Germany, Beijing, Hong Kong, and New York. So what is my passion? My passion are people. I am obsessed with people. I love people. I'm such an extrovert that even I myself forgot about my monster. My passion is a monster because I'm shy. I'm a shy extrovert. I care so much about people that sometimes I care so much about what they think about me that it's uncomfortable for me to spend time with other people. Let me take you back to a time where I was very well aware of that. When I was a little girl, I was so shy, I'd pee in my pants because I was too uncomfortable to ask the kindergarten teacher for the bathroom. Things with the monster got a little bit better over time because peeing in my pants just wasn't a long-term viable solution. But the real turning point came when I was 11 years old. I just moved back to Germany from Singapore. I was the new kid. I didn't have friends. But I was also very different after having lived abroad for such a long time. And being shy did not help me. The more I wanted to have friends, the more it became aware to me that I didn't have any, and it pained me. And kids started bullying me. I was so ashamed, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my parents. Up to this day, they don't know that that was happening. I went into a dark place. I was depressed, and I had suicidal thoughts at the age of 11. Something had to change. And I learned a very important lesson at that time, that the only thing that you can change is yourself. I couldn't control what the kids were thinking of me. And it wasn't easy, but it took a lot of mental strength, and I eventually got there. I stopped caring what the kids thought of me. And I was shocked. The bullying stopped. The moment I stopped caring, the bullying stopped, and I suddenly got friends over time. It really paid off for me to invest in myself, to work on myself. And for the reason I continued with that, I worked hard, I got good grades, I got a scholarship, I got a job in New York City after I graduated, I got a visa sponsored right after. I was so excited. Until I forgot about the monster. I'd basically put it in a box. But I got reminded of it again 2 years ago when I went through a major life change. At that point, I'd been in finance in the hedge fund world for 5 years, and I wanted to change. So I took a big risk. I wanted to be in the startup world. Took a 70% pay cut, but that really left me open for judgment. My parents, my family, my friends, they all thought I was out of my mind. And I was starting all over again. I was doing things for the first time, and I sucked at everything. It was the first time. And to make matters worse, I wanted it so badly, I worked nonstop. I wanted to catch up. I solved that problem of judgment by creating a brunch club. Not the kind you'd expect. I created a brunch club with entrepreneurial women because they work all the time as well. So that was a great excuse for me to work Saturday and Sunday, 7 days a week, and not feel alone. And after time, that paid off. The brunch club turned into a several hundred women community. So suddenly I'd founded a female entrepreneur community. Woo! I was so excited. And on the career side, I was seeing traction there as well. I was being considered for senior roles. And you can imagine my excitement when this summer I found out I was being flown to Europe to be considered for a CEO role. I was ecstatic. All the hard work was paying off. However, as part of this trip, I attended a tech conference. At this tech conference, I had a 20-minute conversation with an angel investor. It was a regular work conversation. We exchanged business cards. I received a follow-up email. Nothing out of the ordinary, except the email wasn't what I expected. He had a request. No, it was a demand. He demanded sex from me in the email. And he said he wouldn't leave Berlin until he had sex with me. I really did not want to react. I thought I'd be stronger by not reacting. The problem was that I had something similar happen to me for an entire year at a previous job. And for an entire year, I pretended like it didn't happen. And I felt paralyzed during that year. And after the fact, I wish I had done something. And here I was, after I'd worked so hard, and suddenly it was happening again. There was a week of sleepless nights, a lot of back and forth, a lot of internal struggles, and eventually I did react. I reacted by writing an anonymous blog post. I didn't include his name, I didn't include my name. But through a chain reaction of events, this incident ended up in the news. It went viral, and it included his name and my name. And I don't care who you are, but if you're in the news for sexism, you start caring what other people think about you. Luckily, a large portion of people thought it was amazing. They said I was a hero, certainly didn't feel like one. But there was a large portion that was very vocal, and they thought I was scum, they thought I was a damsel in distress, I was weak, I was doing it for attention. And there were death threats. So yeah, I started caring about what people thought about me. And it didn't just affect my public presence, but also on a day-to-day basis. I couldn't help but wonder more about what was this person thinking of me. And it affected my confidence, it affected my work, it affected everything. And this went on for a few months until I actually realized what was happening. And that's only then did I realize and remember what I'd gone through as a child, that I used to be shy, that even though I was extroverted, I sometimes can be very sensitive. And that's by being able to realize that I had this once, I was able to deal with it. I was a stronger person by facing my vulnerability. So now I can go out of I meditate, I journal. And that's the only reason I can stand here in front of you and speak up for passion. If I was a little girl, I would have never imagined doing this today. But even more important than that, by being able to control what other people think, by being able to find best practices, I realize even though I'm sensitive to what other people think and I'm passionate about that, it's me who feels that way. I am my passion. And because I am my passion, I am my monster. And by learning to embrace my monster, by learning to love my monster, I'm able to learn to embrace and love myself. And that's what it has always been about. Thank you.